Yeah, I thought, I told our guys during the week and before the game, I thought this was a game where it kind of revealed a lot about our character. I thought it did, especially with the way we started. South Carolina got up 12 in the first, I think, 5-6 minutes of that game. I think maybe 11-1 to start the game. We could have easily folded, especially knowing we had built-in excuses as to why we could have lost this with injuries and whatnot. I thought our guys fought back, showed a ton of character, resiliency, and it's a big win. And you look at different contributions from different guys. Alex Reese, when he had Alex show up big, comes up with 10 rebounds. Herb almost has a double-double again. He goes 4 for 6 at the line. We needed those 2 late when he hit them. It was big. Obviously Kyra has tons of pressure on him every game. I mean, if he plays bad, we had no shot to win. And he came through. I thought he handled that pressure in the second half unbelievably well. Got a lot of guys shots, and JD deserves to play well. He's been in the gym a lot. A lot of times guys that get in the gym don't necessarily play great. They quit coming. He had some tough games and just kept coming. Shows up in the morning, 6:30, 7. I told him, after they called the timeout, he missed that first free throw. I said, we didn't show up at 6:30, missed this thing. Like, you put too many shots up. Like, you've already earned this. You made this thing all those mornings. Just go finish it up, knock it in. He knocked it in. I thought that free throw was huge to push it to 4. So it kind of ended the game for him. So really proud of all the guys and their efforts, and this puts us in a great spot going in the last week of the regular season.
Thanks, Coach. Big question for Kyra and Xavier first. We'll start with Tony.
Kyra, how big was that technical in terms of kind of waking you guys up and getting you sparked to come back?
It actually woke me up a lot because Coach was taking up for us because he felt like the refs missed a couple calls. So when the ref had taken them up, I was kind of like, okay, Coach got a tick. But then he started kind of like barking at Coach, like be quiet. And I was like, if Coach gonna take up for me, then I feel like as players, then we should take up for him and stand up for him. So I feel like we responded well.
Far right corner here, we see some.
For Javian, South Carolina's known for being a physical team around the basket. You were able to get 20 and 10 tonight. How physical was it, and what led you to step up to that?
They had some big bodies. For me, I like playing physical, and then I like totally aggressive. So I feel like it was best for me to be aggressive for my team, and just be their dog for them tonight.
For both of you guys, just how tired were you tonight having to play such a short lineup with I think only 8 guys play, 6 mostly? Just how tired were you?
For me, I feel like the guys, the way we practice, we built for games like this. If somebody go down, tempo we play with, practice all the time is up and down. So, I feel like as the game went on, as they was wearing down, we got our second win, got key stops, hit key free throws, hit key shots. So I feel like the condition was well tonight.
And this is for Javian. You made one against Ole Miss late, and then big one to start the half. Talk about adding the three-pointer to your arsenal and trying to kind of expand your game, and how much time, like a coach said, you put in the gym.
That's a shot I worked on since Coach got here. Just shooting it with confidence. When I do shoot it, I feel like tonight was a pretty good time to shoot the ball, and it felt good coming in my hands, and I made one 3, so I feel like it was a good night to make one.
We got a few more questions for student athletes. Start here with James.
Javian, from talking about avoiding Halloween candy before the season to scoring 20 and 10 in a must-win game, talk about your journey throughout the season and how you got to this point.
Just a lot of bumps in the road, just staying to a cause. Coaches believing in me from the mental aspect, the physical aspect, so I feel like it's been a good journey for me. I'm still on that journey trying to improve, so I feel like it's been good for me.
Last question for
For Javian, I was just wondering if there was a play in particular that you made tonight that really stood out to you.
I think the play was the 3 I took and got a whole board and got the reason. I feel like that was a play of the night for me and my team.
All right, that's really good. Let's go ahead, big question for Coach. Start with the back right with Cecil.
I've got 2 real quick. First, how did you adjust with John out of the lineup?
We had to go a little bigger, so we've been practicing with that kind of package. essentially we played the whole game with at least 2 centers in, because the way Herb's playing right now, he's a center. I mean, he's not able to shoot, dribble. I mean, if you can't shoot or dribble, I don't know what other position you play in basketball, you're a center. So you've got Herb out there, and then either G or JD is pretty much out there the whole time. You know, Reese can play the 4 on offense, but he's, you know, he also plays the 5 for us a lot before Herb got hurt. So, you know, we went through a whole package of how we're going to try to space. Part of it, the way we play, we just had to space G or JD like they were 4-man. And it's kind of like JD got 3 threes up tonight. I mean, he's essentially playing the 4 because Herb had to play the 5 with, you know, with how he's playing right now. So, you know, we didn't get as many threes up as we usually do without Petty, but we got to the free throw line a bunch, so kind of give and take a little bit there. And there's a team that fouls a lot, real super physical. So I thought the guys that were in there, you know, you look, JD picked up 9 fouls on them, so I thought he played well, played physical. And Kyra driving and picked up 7 fouls. I think we made smart plays on offense to, you know, deal with the fact we don't have Petty out there firing up threes, but I think we still kept the floor space well enough that we could drive and get to the free throw line.
And second, since I'm the designated technical foul question, ask her, what'd you say?
I mean, look, I didn't agree with the block charge earlier, and I didn't let it go, and I was talking to Pat about an official across the floor, and he heard me. So I shouldn't have done it. I apologize to him in the middle of the game, but I was a little perturbed. I thought that the black charge call could have maybe gone another way. So I thought, you know, I like our guys taking charge. I thought Beetle stepped up to a good one, but you know, we'll look at it on the video. Maybe they had it right.
Back to that, Alex.
I'm going to follow up with that because there was a big shift. You know, you said earlier in the year you usually get 1 a year. I think this is number 6 for you on the season. I guess, do you feel like there are times in games where if your team needs a spark, maybe this is something you do as a coach?
Is that only 6? I thought I had more than that, but I don't know. They give them all like candy around here, I think. But look, I haven't tried to get one yet. I was not trying to get one there. I was just a little upset with the way the calls were going. I mean, this is a team, and they're tough. I had a ton of respect for Frank as a coach. Frank's one of those guys that, when I was back as a high school coach in Detroit, and you're watching him at K-State, and then, you know, because the South Carolina job, like, you respect how hard his teams play and how hard he coaches them, and you know he's got to have a great relationship with his guys in order to coach them as hard as he does. So like, I love watching Frank's teams play. So I knew they were going to be hard playing, physical group. I just, you know, the fouls maybe aren't supposed to be even when you're playing their team. They tend to foul a lot, and he knows it and kind of goes with it. So just trying to get us a couple calls, and I tried to went overboard on it.
You said at Mississippi State that the team kind of maybe ran out of gas at the end. What did you see tonight, and how close were you monitoring that, and just how much gas they had?
You know what? I finally just came to the conclusion that Herb's so valuable, and he's figuring out how to play on offense with being as limited as he is. I'm not trying to play him offense, defense. I'm just going to play him. He played 40 minutes. I think playing Herb 40 allows you to play, you know, give some other guys a little bit of rest. I mean, Herb's definitely durable enough to play 40 every night, as long as he's not in foul trouble. I told him he had to stay out of foul trouble. So I thought, you know, I mean, if you look at our minutes, outside of Kyra and Herb, nobody's over 30, you know. So I thought we did a better job distributing some minutes maybe. And those, Kyra's used to playing 40, so for Kyra to play 37 isn't a big deal. Close to 38, that's no problem for him. And I think Herb's durable, and everybody else we kept down under. I thought Beetle had been really, really good in the first half for us here recently. I thought maybe he got tired in the second half. Him picking up 2 early fouls maybe enabled him to be more fresh late in the game. I thought those free throws, I mean, he's 4-4 at the line. Those free throws he hit late were huge. We needed him, you know, and he's obviously a really good defender that can pressure the ball and cause some issues with that. So having him fresh late, Shaq stepped up, went 2 for 2 at the line late, you know, maybe getting those guys' minutes down a little bit helped a little bit.
You got 3 more questions left.
Sorry, one more tech. You're 6-0 when you get
So
attacked.
you did the research. It's only 6.
Yeah, but you're undefeated. Did you know that? And then also, when you hear a guy like Kyra say that, I want to have my coach's back, what does that mean for you?
Well, that's great, because they did start to play with a little bit more energy after that. I wasn't happy with our energy out of the gate, so I didn't get the tech to get our energy up, but it certainly went up, and Kyra got those transition buckets kind of right after that, and we got going and got ourselves back in the game. So I'm not trying to get them, but they've worked out all right. Shoot, maybe it's really not going well. Maybe I got to get one now. 6-0. I do know we're undefeated when I get them. I did know that. For some reason I thought it was more. That's good. It's only 6 because I don't want to have too many more.
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask you about Javian, and I know recently in the second half of the game you guys decided not to play him, but did you give him, was it an emphasis tonight to try to get him involved early and also to go inside with the way Frank's team plays?
You know what? I don't want to say that we necessarily emphasized going inside, but we knew that we were going to have to get some scoring elsewhere with Petty out. So I thought, if you look, he got 4 offensive rebounds. I'm not sure how many of his points came on those, but he's a skilled big that they can play a little bit in ball screens, can handle a little bit. Obviously hitting the 3 gave him a big boost of confidence. He's a kid that throughout the course of the year has been a little bit up and down emotionally, and we've tried to get him to just move on from. He cares so much. He's in the gym so much, working on his personally, and it's great. I tell the guys all the time, there's a selfish part of this game. Get in the gym, be as selfish as you want. Working on your personal game. We need you to be that way. Just be part of the team once you get involved with the team. And I think sometimes he gets so down on himself when he doesn't play well because he expects to play so well with how much time he's put in that it's not necessarily a selfish thing, but it becomes selfish. He's so upset with himself he can't help the team out. And so sometimes when he gets like that, we got to get him. I think he's done a much better job of. He kind of admitted, he kind of became his own worst enemy at times, which is his emotional roller coaster that he put himself in. And I think he's done a great job getting himself stabilized that way, where he's a lot more even keeled. Just give us an effort. Nobody plays perfect. We tell them that all the time. You make mistakes, just make sure they're not effort mistakes, miss shots, miss free throws, whatever. Just make sure you're playing hard through the whole thing.
Last question here, Kerry.
Coach, just piggybacking on that, I know that Coach Hodgson is the guy that works with the big men. What are the things he's worked on with JD lately?
So, Coach Hodgson looks like he should be working with the bigs, doesn't he? Yeah. What we've been working on lately with them is more like pick and roll stuff. We have teams play us a different way where we think we can get them on a roll and they can make decisions kind of in the middle of the lane. And JD's been pretty good at that. Now, he didn't get a ton of those today. The other thing is the way we play, we don't run a ton of post-ups unless we got a mismatch there. But we do play off the drive. So, we call them relocations as the big relocates to open areas on the floor. Just stress getting to the right spots. And then the other one is just the rebound. He's been all over. We started having one of our GAs go back and chart rebounding percentages, offense, defense, every single time. Giving up, we've been all over them. Well, rebounding here lately just because, we want to be known as a tough, hard-nosed team. Tough, hard-nosed teams don't get out-rebounded like we had been getting out-rebounded here recently. So I think the biggest thing that made the biggest difference with him tonight was just the rebounding aspect. He ends up, when you're playing hard and aggressive, the offense usually fouls. So he gets 4 offensive rebounds and 10 rebounds total. He's bound to have a good offensive game, in my opinion. Kind of like, even with Petty early in the year, just keep playing hard. He struggled to shoot it the first 3 games of the year. Just play hard. If you play hard and give us an effort, and your blue-collar points are up, eventually your shot's going to drop and your offense will foul, and that's what happened. And I think JD's buying into that, and Brian's been really all over our bigs about rebounding the ball. And if you look, Reese had 10, Javian had 10. Galen didn't get that many minutes with the foul trouble he's in, but for those, and Herb's essentially a big too. 39 rebounds between those 3 guys was huge tonight.
Who was the hard hit?
Herb got it. Kind of old faithful. If nobody else stands out with 3 or 4 charges or something, he's probably got it. Especially when he plays 40 minutes. All right, thanks, folks.